glance out of the aircraft and getting a quick look at the southern shoreline of the island. The island of Oahu has a nickname. It is referred to as the gathering place. It's an appropriate name for the island, as 80% of the state's 1.2 million people reside on this one island alone, most of them in and around the greater Honolulu area. Honolulu, meaning peaceful or sheltered bay, is in view now off the left wing tip, the business and industrial district for the city. It is the present-day capital of the islands. It has been since the year of 1865. Prior to that, the capital could be found on the valley island of Maui, in the small whaling town of Lahaina. Just inland from the downtown area, you should be able to make out a small crater. This is Punchbowl Crater. Hawaiians call it Pu'uwaina, or Hill of Sacrifice, and it is the site of our National Memorial Cemetery in the Pacific. The backdrop to all of this is the southern portion of the mountain range we call the Ko'olaus. This mountain range sits along the southern and eastern or windward coastline of the island. It is the larger of two mountain ranges found on Oahu. The other is the Waina Range that sits along the western or leeward coast. The Waina Range is the shorter of the two, but it is home to the tallest peak on Oahu. Mount Ka'ala, which rises 4,040 feet above sea level. And that first stretch of beach you can see now is the Alamoana Beach Park, and that is followed by the Alawai Yacht Harbor. And then the coastline of our most famous stretch of beach, Waikiki. Just after Waikiki is our most famous and photographed landmark, Mount Leahi. It is more commonly referred to as Diamond Head Crater. It gets that nickname from the 19th century British sailors who found calcite crystals on the slopes and thought them to be diamonds. Today the crater is used by the National Guard and the Civil Defense. It's also an excellent hiking venue. At the summit, 763 feet above sea level, you get a nice view of Waikiki and the entire southern shoreline all the way to Portlock Peninsula. Speaking of Portlock, it'll be coming into view in just a few minutes. It is the southeastern tip of the island. Just behind it is Koko Head Crater, last eruption about 10,000 years ago. As we get out and away from Oahu, if you look back between those two features, you should be able to see a small horseshoe-shaped bay. This is Hanama Bay. It used to be a volcanic crater of its own until ocean activity broke to one side, creating what today is a favorite picnic and playground area. It's also a national marine preserve. And once we leave Oahu, we'll be flying over the body of water that separates Oahu from the island of Molokai. It's a 26-mile stretch, and it's referred to as the Kaiwi Channel. And it is recognized as one of the roughest bodies of water in the world, especially during the winter months when swell heights can reach 25 to 30 feet. This is also part of the migratory route for the Pacific humpback whale. They come here from in and around the Aleutian Islands of Alaska, headed to their calving grounds just off the southern and western shorelines of the valley island of Maui. The animals usually arrive towards the end of October, early November, hang around for most of the winter, head back north in early to mid